And I think I'll just move my camera back a bit so it's not too close up. I don't know where the camera's sitting until the stream starts. So welcome. I trust you're well and this moment finds you happy and hopefully in the flow or in some sort of balance. That would be great. So I'm here to host our monthly personal healing event for some of my Temple of Balance patrons. This week, or this month actually, we have 3 people on the list. So I have those 3 people, their names here in this little pot, and I'll be pulling their names out and connecting with them directly. So this is personal healing time where I spend around 10 minutes focusing on the people on the list for the month or for the day. So that's what I'll be doing. I'll be working also with my healing energy cards. So I'll pull a name from the pot. I will pull a healing energy card. Then I'll tune in and see what's loudest in your vibration. So whatever's loudest in your energy when I tune in to you is the energy that gets my attention first. So I trust that that's at the forefront, and sometimes things or the energy at the forefront, I talk about it or validate it, acknowledge it, and it sometimes acts as like a veil or an opening of a window or a door that takes me further and deeper into your energy. But whatever's at the forefront, whatever's loudest is going to be what gets my attention first. We don't have a lot of time, so if this was like an hour intuitive healing session, then we can really go deeply into those things. So in these types of sessions, it's very much what's loudest. We work through that energy, do what we need to do that feels right, and if there's anything for you to follow up with, I'll certainly let you know. So I'm very sensitive to energy. There's nothing special in me about that. This is just the way I've sort of trained myself to connect with energy. So I'm very sensitive in my body, and I also receive visuals and also intuition, psychic visions, I suppose we could say there. Oh, hi, Jane. Of course. Welcome. It's lovely to see you. I trust you're well. So then it's up to me then to trust what I'm picking up. So my intuition, my sensitivity, my psychic abilities, let's say, then I need to trust those energies. So through experience and the building of my own personal trust in myself has allowed me to trust in what I'm sensing. So I can't hold anything back, because if I do, it will just block the flow of energy. And I'm very much in the flow with it. I don't have a plan. I haven't premeditated or pre-connected or anything prior to being here in this moment. It's very much like everything I do in the moment. So when I connect with you, whatever's loudest at the time, we're just going to flow with it. So I don't have expectations. I'm just going to let the energy surprise me and hopefully surprise you too, pleasantly. So I can't hold anything back. It blocks the flow of energy. So with that in mind, sometimes the information that comes through is a bit direct or a bit blunt, because I can't, if I don't say what I'm feeling or what I'm sensing, then I'm not going to be able to connect or continue the connection. So what's loudest comes in, and it's like a flow of wind or a flow of air, a flow of sound, and if I don't flow with it, then it just blocks up there. So I think that's all I really need to say. If you're not on my list today, or you're waiting for your turn, then I do trust that you've been led here for a reason. It proves this, the universe proves this to me time and time again for years and years and years, that things happen at the right time. So I trust that I'm here at the right time to connect, and I trust that you're here too. And we meet in this meeting place, and I trust that even one thing perhaps is what you need to hear. So if I was listening or just waiting for my turn, I'd be taking some big deep breaths I'd be listening not only with my ears, but listening with my heart and listening with my body to see what my body and what I'm reacting to that's being said. The things that feel familiar, the things that speak directly to me, also the things that challenge or trigger or make me feel a bit uncomfortable. I'll also notice those things too. So let's get started. I'll start with the first person here, which is KantiDevi. Kanti, welcome. Take a nice big breath. And let's grab a healing energy card for you to get started. It's quite cold here and I'm really underdressed. So I've got the heater like right here next to me. But next time I'll remember to put a top aside that is a bit warmer because Corey's still in bed. So I got this top out last night. So Kanti, nice big breath, and the best card for you as we start this connection is here. Oh, we have Reconnection Card 20. It's in the Rise category here. And down here it says, release the separation issues that have you feeling disconnected, alone, or at conflict with yourself. Open your crown, look beyond what you see. So this is reconnection. Let's keep that here, but not allow that to really influence the connection. Okay, so nice big breath for me, please, Kanti. Okay, so the first thing I'm picking up is this like a rod of energy that splits you down the middle, we could say, but it might not be splitting, but that's just the word I want to use right now. So it's a bit like a piece of timber or a rod of some sort that comes right down, smack bang in the center of your body. And this is what I would call like the place of alignment. Basically running with the spine, but also extending up past the spine and extending down below the spine, and basically down between the legs to that place in between your feet that are sitting down. So we've got this divider, we could say, this rod. It feels like a rod. I really like that word as I connect with this energy. So a rod or a pole, but this rod is connecting straight down here, and I'm really being drawn to both sides of this rod. So first of all, here on the right side, I don't know if this video is flipped or mirrored, but this is my right side. If it looks left to you, I do know my left from my right, and it is my right side. And there's an energy moving that's quite heavy that's sitting just here in this space. You can probably see. So this space here of the small of your neck on the side, and this space in here, there's a heavy-ish energy that's sitting in here. It's heavier than like a smoky feeling. It's probably about as heavy I feel as like a thick cloud that's sitting here that you can't see through. It's quite thick and dense, this energy, and it's just hovering here. It feels to be really influencing the neck around the right side, and especially around towards the back. Just keeping in mind this rod, because it feels like that rod is like a fence or a barrier that stops this energy going to the other side. So it contains this energy in some ways as well, but it feels, I don't know, it feels a bit heavy in here, like we need to move this. But we need to talk about it a bit more because I'm not quite feeling ready to move it. So it feels heavy sitting in here. The cloud-like feeling feels very airy, which to me is my symbol for mental energy. But it also feels very heavy and damp. So it feels like there's emotional energy sitting in this too. So an emotional and mental energy that's hovering in here. And as I'm talking about the mental and emotional energy, the cloud-like feeling of it gets blacker and blacker and blacker. You know, when the sky starts going blacker and the clouds get denser and heavier before they break out in rain. So that's what it's feeling like here. Like as I'm talking about it, this energy is becoming heavier and denser. And as it becomes heavier and denser, it seems to be really sitting almost like there's a ledge here at the back of your neck, a ledge And on this ledge is where this energy wants to sit. And it's feeling quite painful actually through here too. So quite painful through the neck and quite painful through this small part of your neck as well. So let's just see if we need to do or talk about anything else here before we start shifting it. It feels like it's not only sitting here on the outside, but it's also penetrating inside your neck here at the back, the side and the back, right up to that point of the rod. Now, as I'm tuning further into it too, there is an energy moving on the other side, left, that's right at the rod, but further down towards the back of the heart. So that area in between the shoulder blades, but quite high up here. There's a sort of a lighter energy here, but it still feels a little bit heavy. Not as heavy as this side, so lighter in comparison, but it still feels like there's energy moving through here. So it feels like in the area that it's in, it's connected with your throat chakra, which is the area all around your neck, which is about communication, expression and truth, and feeling safe to speak your truth, feeling safe to be who you are. And because this energy I'm feeling quite heavy here at the back of your throat, that tells me or suggests that there's suppression of who you are from the past that is somehow being stirred up now with what you've got going on. Now, as I further talk about this sort of lighter, scratchy energy is really good. That's how it feels. It feels scratchy and almost itchy, and it's running down on this left side along this rod right down to the heart now. So before it didn't quite make its way to the heart, but now I can feel it moving down there like a scratch feeling around the same point here, but further back on the other side of that rod, right the way down to your heart at the back. So this also suggests that there's a link here that connects also that throat energy, so the truth energy connected with the past because it's in the back, down to the heart. So there's a connection here with the heart. I'm getting a download coming in, so I'm getting this really high-pitched buzzing happening in the ear, but it's also connected with the heart. So the heart is your center for love of self, love of others, love of all creation, we could say, and acceptance, and things and wounds that sit very close to us, like very personal things, tend to sit very deeply in the heart. And because, again, it's at the back, it's showing most likely some old issues that have sat very deeply in your heart that are also connected with the past, most likely with this same situation or this same past event or this past time period in your life where you were suppressed and you weren't allowed to speak up and you weren't allowed to be yourself. You weren't allowed to be individual or unique. And I feel that this is really hitting the nail on the head because I can already feel the energy start moving as I talk about you being suppressed in the past and not being able to speak and be yourself. And maybe not even knowing who you were in the past. And there's something happening now that's stirring this up. As you're becoming more confident, Kanti, in yourself and your truth, and as you're stepping out of your comfort zone in this area, I feel like there are some old triggers, some old energy that's triggering and moving for you. So I can already feel the energy lighten up. We've got fog outside and the sun's getting a little brighter here too. And I can feel this energy through the back. So that cloud energy, the scratchy energy on this side, the cloud energy on this side, I can feel these already start to move. Like a breeze is coming in and just starting to move this cloud away. And even though it feels like it's clinging, there's a clinging feeling here too with this cloud, like it's clinging to you somehow. And maybe there's a part of you, Kanti, that feels clingy to that suppressed past that you had as you're being tested and challenged to uncling yourself from it so that you can step into the next role and the next door that's wanting to open for you in your life. Because I can feel this pull from your heart. It's so strong that wants to pull you into this new door. Yet, it's like a child that doesn't want to let go of their parent and they cling on and they hold on and they don't want to let go. So there is a part that wants to cling on to this suppression because, You know, in some ways, I feel like it keeps you in your healing longer. It keeps you in your comfort zone longer. But there is this feeling here that if you could consider letting go of that you're clinging to, especially connected with your truth and who you are, I feel like this is really going to help you move quickly through this doorway where your heart is pulling you to. So as I'm talking about this more, the energy's shifting further, and that clingy feeling, like that grasp here, is starting to lighten and release its hold. And in fact, this breeze that I felt coming in just a few minutes ago, this warm breeze coming in through the left, is now starting to really dislodge that clingy grasp that that cloud and that energy had, and it's starting to blow it away. And now I can feel it like a balloon lifting off the ground, or a plane lifting off the ground, but that's a bit heavier. But it's starting to lift off, like a cloud lifting off the hill, and it's moving away from you, out and away from your space. And there is this feeling of farewell, goodbye, I don't need that anymore. And with that removal of that, it feels like a balloon that's been carried in the wind. And I didn't realize, but it's got a string, a scratchy string that has been tied around that rod I talked about before, right here in the middle of the back of your throat, the back of your neck. And this string, this scratchy string, has been dangling down, we could say, down the left side, across down beside the rod and around your heart. So that all lifts away as well. It comes loose, and that balloon, that part of you, is farewelled. You don't need it anymore. And already this energy, this area here at the back of your neck and the back of your heart is feeling lighter, more open and ready, fresh, new energy coming in. So I trust that resonates, Kanti. Let's see which healing energy card wants to be added here. So to tie this up, we have this card here. Spirit message, card 12. It's interesting, isn't it? We had reconnection, spirit message, card 12. So this is about paying attention to the signs now as you move forward. And look at all these this light energy now around you. Interesting. So it's almost like the energy around here, including the hair, because the hair actually feels quite heavy at the moment. This is that state, almost similar to that state you're in before, that denser energy around. Whereas look around here now, we've got all these like light codes and trails of light and star. And this is really activating you now, I feel, as you're being encouraged to trust the signs and synchronicities and your intuition as you move forward, trusting in that direction that your heart is calling. Thanks, Kanti. I trust this resonates, and thanks for allowing me to connect with you today. Namaste. Okay, let's pop these cards back and let's see who's next. Next is this person. It's Susan Sonsteng. Welcome, Susan. Take a nice big breath and let's see which healing energy card you need for this moment. So to be a part of this next month, if you're interested, please have a look at my Patreon, Temple of Balance on Patreon. You can see the link below. And it's the $50 level or higher, gives you access to this event and lots of other things. We have this card for you, Susan. It's card 21, Third Eye Opening. It says deep opening and healing of your third eye chakra and trust issues, awakening your intuition, trust in the flow of life, and trust in yourself. Open and expand. This feels like a journey that you're going on, and you're really being encouraged right now to just trust every step along the way. So I see before you your life's path, and I feel in some ways it feels like it's been narrowing of late, but at the same time it feels like it's been widening of late. So it makes me feel like it's been narrowing and widening. And you might feel that, oh yes, I'm getting back on track, and then things seem to narrow down. But there's something about this narrowing that's really interesting, because it feels like a honing. It feels like you're really refining and defining what your path is and how you want it to be, but also your relationship with your path. So actually the widening feels, what's the feeling here in words? The widening feels like expansion. It feels like opportunities, options, balance, this widening of your energy, this stretching out, this stretching open. And then when things narrow down, it can feel quite, it feels to be a bit restricting compared to that feeling of it widening. And as it's coming in, it can feel like maybe you're going backwards, or things are becoming constricted or limited and narrowing. But this is actually an opportunity for honing, and then it widens again. So it feels like your path lately has been very undulating, very widening, and then drawing in and narrowing. So a bit like what it reminds me of is like breathing. So drawing a breath in and expanding, and then breathing a breath out, and that air, that energy, that air within us sort of narrows, and then breathing out and breathing in. So there's a rhythm to this, even though it feels perhaps frustrating or a bit destabilizing. It makes me feel like things may feel a bit unstable for you. But what you're being encouraged to do is trust in this movement here, because this movement is letting you hone in and really refine for you this path and your relationship with it. So you've been encouraged to trust this movement, this ebb and flow of your path at the moment. And so I see you standing in the center of it, holding your center, holding your ground, doing your best to stay balanced. Why life things happen, and why life moves and ebbs and flows around you, and you take these steps. But it's weird too, because it feels like a part of you doesn't want to step. So there might be a bit of a resistance or a fear in actually moving with the strangeness of your path right now. Almost like there's this sense that you want to, a part of you wants to stop still, hold your ground, stop still, wait it out, bide your time, not be hasty, and all these things aren't bad, but it feels like your path wants you to move with it, but you're staying put somehow. So as you're staying put, keep building your strength and prepare yourself, is what I'm feeling, for the next step. And it feels like that next step feels to be quite difficult. You know, it's like that first plunge that we take, the first step is often the hardest. So it feels courage and strength building at this time, preparation for you to get ready to step. And the weird thing is I feel like I want to step with the left leg. And usually when we're stepping into something new, we're stepping in with the right leg. The right leg takes us into our future. We might not do that literally, but when I'm feeling energetically like we're walking forward, it's typically with the right side. But the left side for you wants to move forward, Susan. And usually the left side comes forward to join up with the right side, because a part of us can feel like, or can be kind of living in the past. And it's usually the left side that tilts back. So when we're in that space of being imbalanced, usually it's our left side that comes up and joins with the right. So then we can walk forward. So what is it about the past that you're struggling to let go of too at the moment that's actually stopping you from moving forward and moving on this path? So as you gather your strength and prepare yourself, and you move your left side, your left foot up to match with your right, this feels to be your most courageous step that you'll need to make, is to that step of stepping out of the past now. Stepping out of the wounds now, stepping out of your insecurities about yourself and your lack of ability in trusting yourself from the past. And that it's time to step out of that now. Bring your left leg up with your right so that you can then take confident strides or shuffles, whatever pace you need to go, moving forward. So as you do this, your path is going to feel less in and out, less ebb and flow, less wide and narrow, wide and narrow. It's going to feel less that way, I feel, when you're moving with it. You know, like if we're looking at a plane traveling, it looks like it's moving really fast, but when we're in the plane, it doesn't feel like it's going that fast. So when you're on the path and when you're moving with the undulating path that the course is taking for you right now, when you're moving with it, it's not going to feel so hot and cold, so black and white. So the key really is getting that part of you that's locked into the past, feeling strong to bring that forward, that side of yourself forward now, so you can move with this path that's really enticing you forward, and trusting in that movement that your path is taking you, because I feel like it brings opportunity for a really great refinement of yourself and of your relationship with your life's path. So where do you want to go? What direction do you want to take? What do you want to open up for yourself? How can you get into alignment with this path of yours that calls you? So that's what I'm feeling loudly in your energy today, Susan. I trust this resonates. Let's grab a healing energy card and see what that wants to add here. What does this healing energy card want to add just to tie this up or finalize or whatever it needs to add here at the end? So the best healing energy card to tie this up for you, Susan, is this one here. Speaking of expanding, I am expanding. Card 43. It's also in the rise category. So we've got both cards in the rise. You've been really enticed and pulled to lift yourself up and free yourself, really, moving forward now. But I am expanding. It says down here, your light, or your I am, your essence, who you truly are, your light is expanding, not your lower ego demanding, which we could say in this case is your hurt and pain from the past. That is not expanding. In fact, it's trying to keep you weighed down, pinned down, heavy, and held back. So it's not expanding. It's dominating. It's suffocating. It's constricting. It's your light, your essence, your truth that expands and grows. So this really relates to that expanding and contracting, that expanding and widening and narrowing that I'm feeling of your path. It says, release who you are for what you could become. This is so appropriate. And this really connects, I feel, Susan, with that past energy that I'm feeling. Release who you are, or who you think you are, from what you've been through in the past or what you were told you were in the past. Are you really that person now, or that person that you thought you were? And this is something for you and anyone who's connecting, who's got your ears pricked with this. It's something to really sit with and contemplate. Who are you today? And can you release who you are, especially the limiting parts, for what and who you could become? It says opportunities and higher self. And actually, I didn't realize, but look at this path. Okay, so this is a little different, which is interesting. So instead of it going wide and narrow, this is actually more of a parallel sort of path where it's moving together, the same width as it goes. So there is this feeling that things are shifting for you, Susan, and hopefully something I've shared here, especially these first steps of strengthening and preparing yourself and really thinking about how you can confidently and boldly and courageously step out of the past parts of you that have been holding you back, especially to do with your life's path and what you've been through in the past. So thank you, Susan. I trust this resonates and supports you, and thank you so much for your support. Namaste. Okay, we have one more person on the list today, and that last person is Carol. Carol White. Take a nice big breath for me, Carol, and let's see what comes up for you today. Oops. Okay, oops. Same card. Okay, let's see which card you need today, Carol, for now. So the best card for you to begin this connection is this here. Inner Child, card 53. It's in the depth category. And down here it says, come out of hiding. It is safe for you to do so. Don't hide. Release your childhood wounds so your inner child can come out and play. Healing. So this is about the inner child for you, Carol, but also about bringing a part of you out of hiding that has been held back or trapped or locked away, hidden away for some reason. There are all sorts of reasons why we hide parts of ourselves away. Typically it's for our survival in the past, or maybe if we were young, in a young person in a difficult situation, we could also lock a part of ourselves away to be able to survive. A lot of the time it comes down to surviving and safety. So we sort of tuck this part of ourselves away or lock it away depending on how young we are and whatever the situation might be. We lock ourselves away to survive, to keep ourselves safe, to be able to cope. And this serves its purpose at the time of difficulties, and it might even serve its purpose for a little bit afterwards. But there does reach a point in our life, especially in our adult life, if we've locked this part away as a child, where actually that part that's locked away and having that tucked away is actually now holding us back. It's limiting us. So, Carol, I don't know if you've been feeling like you've been suppressing or hiding or tucking or locking away a part of yourself that you haven't allowed to come out for whatever reason. It feels like there's a part of you that's that's tucked away here in your heart. Like your heart here is one of those hobbit doors, one of those circular wooden hobbit doors that's closed. This also represents too, I feel, that your heart feels a bit closed now at this time, Carol. It feels this thick wooden door with bolts and locks and lots of door handles, and it's really well sealed. There's no getting in here. And it feels very thick. You know, you couldn't punch it down. You couldn't push it down. You couldn't even locksmith it open, fiddle with the lock. It feels very secure, your heart here. And it's strong. I feel like this is also part of the strength of your heart that you portray in various aspects and roles in your life. So I feel like it plays its part. It's your strong, independent self that you've had to be, that life has molded you to be in many ways. And it is also a part of your personality. But there is something inside this door that I can feel it knocking from the inside, like it wants to get out. Like a bird that's in a cage. It feels weird to me having birds in a cage because I think, birds just want to fly, especially if it's a really small cage. So it just feels a little strange to me. So it feels a bit, perhaps another angle of looking at this is like a bird inside the cage of your heart. And this bird wants nothing more but to fly free. And maybe this is a part of you, Carol, too, that bird inside you that feels like it's got its wings or wing clipped and feels trapped and unable to fly and soar and whistle and sing. To soar with the wind currents and the breeze, to sit in the sun, to feel untrapped. So And this now makes me feel quite emotional. So there's a wave of emotion that's coming up with this, and it's coming from the inside. So I can feel this little, it feels like a little yellow canary sitting in your heart, trapped and locked away. It's got, I mean, it doesn't even have a cage. It's like in the containment of your heart that doesn't even have sun or light or air coming in, is the feeling. So it feels stifled. It feels like it's suffocating in here. So the best thing we can do is open up this door of your heart and free this bird, your inner bird, this part of you that wants to be free, not unlike the phoenix, wanting to rise from the ashes, wanting to start something new, wanting to live life as fully as possible, free and light and free, liberated. So the energy's quieting down now because I can feel we're just about getting ready to open this door, but we've got a bit of a problem. How are we going to open this door? Because I know we can't pick the lock, we can't knock it down, we can't push it or force it. It's quite locked. So we've got to find another way in. And what I feel like I want to do is come in down through your crown, because your crown actually feels nice and open, like a sunlight now that I see shining down onto this bird, this caged bird in your heart. So it's like a skylight from your crown. So your crown's feeling really nice and open. And your crown chakra is about your connections to spirit, your connections with yourself, your connections with the important things in your life. Oh, and the sun's getting very bright here. So we're going to follow this path in now. So I feel like a part of me shrinks down, travel down through this opening here at your crown and down into the top of this cage. And here I'm starting to feel a lot of head pressure, a lot of overthinking perhaps about this trapped energy and this part of you that really wants to be free. So just letting that release through here. It feels like build up of gases, sort of really pressure gas sort of energy here in your heart, that I'm just directing it up through the top, so it's got somewhere of releasing that pressure and just letting it flow through and flow out, which is now doing, and now moving down in with this bird. And I see that this door of your heart can be unlocked from the inside, but the bird didn't have the means to be able to turn the key, basically. So the key's in the door on the inside. And I just turn this little key from the inside of the door that's been keeping your heart closed, and just push on this door. It's like a round wooden window now from the inside. And this little yellow bird jumps on the windowsill, which is sort of rounded, jumps on the windowsill and then leaps out and takes off to flight in front of you, flapping its wings like mad, tweeting away as it steadily increases in altitude. And I climb out of your heart here at the front. Now, your heart, this door feels open, but it feels a bit cold in here, a bit dark and cold and damp. So I light a candle. Now it looks like a lantern, like a lantern that's not on or doesn't have light, but like the case of a lantern or whatever you call it. And I just light this candle here at the front of you, and I place it into this space of your heart to help warm and bring light and warmth into your heart. Okay, so as this candle's now burning, I feel like your heart now is going through a bit of a change, a transformation, and it's shifting. So it's becoming less hard and cold and damp and dark. This door, for one, just drops off its hinges and drops down to the ground, where it just returns back to love. And this whole area starts shifting in here. It becomes lighter, a bit more like a glass house, like a hot house where we grow plants. And there are now windows and light that's appearing all the way around the walls and the ceiling. The sun's coming in and it's letting light in from the outside, but also this candle is helping keep the light going from the inside. So you're starting to feel lighter in this whole area of your heart now, Carol, and that part of you that's felt trapped is now free. Let's grab a card here to add, see what this wants to add to tie this up. So nice big breath, and the best healing energy card to add here is this here. Mental freedom. Okay. So freedom, freeing that bird, very much connected. It's card 27. It's in the action category. And down here it says, let your worries and negative thoughts go. So maybe that could also be what that bird was representing. Your stresses, your worries, those negative thoughts. The part of you that's been feeling trapped. Don't allow your worries and negative thoughts to take away your power. Or we could add here, to hold you back or to keep you trapped. Get back in charge of your thoughts and determination. There is a confidence now in this. It feels like we've exposed something quite deep, and that this card's bringing now a confidence, a mental confidence, but also an acceptance that comes with this. So that you're not so affected by things that are not in your control, that you've just got to tolerate at this time. And this brings also about this sword is really like anchoring here in the third eye chakra. So this is about you trusting in yourself too now more in regards to the difficulties that you've been facing. So I trust this resonates with you, Carol. Thank you so much for allowing me to connect with you. And thank you all for allowing me to connect with you today. And thank you so much for your support. And if you've been watching on the sidelines, I trust that you've found something helpful and supportive in this connection for you. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day. If you want to reach out, please contact me through my website at templeofbalance.com.au anytime. And yeah, maybe I'll connect with you again next month, or if you'd like to be a part of this next month. I look forward to connecting with you. Take care of yourself, and bye for now.